Good afternoon, grade 10 learners, and welcome to our geography lesson. Today's topic is urbanization. The lesson will be taught by Miss Ngobeni, Miss Makalima, Miss Mashihe, and Miss Zita. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to understand what urbanization is, the causes of urbanization, the effect it has on cities and people, and the solutions to urban problems. You understand how urbanization affects our lives, our communities, and even the environment. To begin our lesson, what is urbanization? Urbanization means the increase in the number of people living in towns and cities instead of rural areas. In other words, my learners, urbanization is when more and more people move or relocate from villages and rural areas to towns and cities. Urbanization happens all over the world, especially in developing countries like South Africa. We see urbanization happening all around us every day. We see people relocating from rural areas to urban areas, and as a result, cities are growing bigger every day. Urbanization is an important topic because it affects our cities and our daily lives. So now, let's find out more from Miss Makalima. Why does urbanization happen, or why people move from rural areas to urban areas?
Greetings, grade 10 learners. Now that Ms. Ngobeni has explained the learning objectives and what urbanization is, I will be talking about the push and the pull factors of urbanization. Firstly, we will start off by defining what push and pull factors are. The pull factors are the reasons that attract people to move to a new place, whereas push factors are the reasons that force people to leave a place. The push factors of urbanization include population pressure, poor infrastructure, inadequate job offer, bad educational chances, poor health care, ecological problems, natural disasters, and social compulsions. And the pull factors of urbanization include improvement in the standard of living, better health care and availability of services, varied employment opportunities, higher wages, quality of education, no social compulsions, and future prospects. Now that I have taken you through the push and pull factors of urbanization, I will hand over to Ms. Mashihe, who will be explaining the effects of urbanization and how it impacts our cities and communities.
Thank you for explaining the push and pull factors so well. Now that we understand why people move from rural areas to cities, let us look at what happens after that movement. Our next topic is going to focus on the effects of urbanization. Let's quickly try to recall what urbanization is all about. Urbanization is when people move from rural areas to towns. But here is the big question we have to ask ourselves. Is urbanization good or bad? The answer is both. Today I'm going to explain the good side and also the bad side of urbanization. So stay with me because you're going to learn a lot. Let's start with the positive effects, which is also the good side. First, we have more job opportunities. People moving to cities can find better jobs in industries, shops, and other services. 2. Better education. Cities often have more schools and better universities, which gives learners access to quality education. 3. Better health care. Hospitals and clinics are usually more available in urban areas, which improves people's health. 4. Access to services and facilities. Urban areas provide electricity, water, and communication networks that may not be available in rural areas. 5. Economic growth. When more people move to the cities, businesses can grow, creating more income and opportunities for everyone. However, urbanization also brings challenges for us. Let's look at the negative effects. Looking at the first negative effect, we have overcrowding. More people in cities can lead to overcrowded streets, traffic congestion, and house shortages. For example, let's look at the Johannesburg CBD. 2. Unemployment. Not everyone who moves to urban areas finds a job. That results to poverty. 3. Pollution. When more people move into the city and more activities take place, it increases air and water pollution. 4. Poor living conditions. People may live in informal settlements due to overcrowding and house shortages without proper sanitation and water or electricity. 5. Pressure on services. Hospitals, schools, and transport systems may be overloaded, which lead to people not being able to access them. Now, to test your understanding, we are going to do a quick short activity together. We are going to look at the effect of urbanization. Here's how we are going to do it. I will name an effect, and each one of you should shout out loud at home whether it's positive or a negative effect. Let's start. More jobs in Johannesburg. Traffic congestions. Pollution of air, water, and land. Better schools in cities. Improved healthcare and hospitals. Great! You just stated the positive and negative effects of urbanization. To sum up, urbanization gives us opportunities. However, it also creates problems for us. Now, we will look at the benefits and negative effects of urbanization, the pros and the cons. At the pros, we have better public transport, better overall infrastructure, more education opportunities, better internet connection, better connection to healthcare facilities, easier to socialize. On the cons, we have higher level of air pollution, noise pollution, littering, traffic jams, cities may become quite crowded, spread of diseases, last but not least, development of slums.
Great, hence we are now going to focus on solutions towards urbanization. These are solutions that can help minimize urbanization. Firstly, we are going to look at social solutions towards urbanization. These are solutions that minimize urbanization while improving the lives of people. These include building more schools to avoid overcrowding in schools, building more hospitals and clinics to avoid overcrowding in the existing hospitals and clinics, and lastly, including local people in decision-making towards transformation. Secondly, we are going to shift our focus towards infrastructure solutions. These are solutions that help with doing away with urbanization while improving the infrastructure. Firstly, the first thing that can be done is to provide housing to help with the decrease of slums and informal settlement. Secondly, provision of buses and taxis to avoid high usage of cars, which causes pollution and congestion. Lastly, they can focus on improving sanitation and providing clean, accessible water to everyone. Following, we are going to look at environmental solutions, which include planting more green trees to improve air quality, encouraging the recycling of waste, and reducing actions that lead to all sorts of pollution. Lastly, we are going to focus on economic solutions. These are solutions that can reduce urbanization by improving the economic state of people. This includes creating jobs for people in urban areas and for those in rural areas to avoid rural-urban migration. Secondly, by providing training of skills to the young people or to the youth. And lastly, by encouraging big companies to invest in small companies for job creation. Grade 10, we have now reached the end of our lesson. Just a quick recap of what we learned today. We learned about what urbanization is, the causes and the effects of urbanization, the pull and push factors of urbanization, and lastly, we learned about solutions towards urbanization.